Hi, it's Candy. Welcome to the Art of Planning, where we plan pretty, on purpose, and powerful. And we are doing actually part B of our Plan With Me. I called it a live Plan With Me. I guess it's not really live, but it's the first time I've ever done one exactly like this. And if you will remember, we kind of left part one abruptly, and I'm sorry about that, but I'm going to go ahead and post it like that. We're going to pick up here where we left off before, and that was actually where I was showing you that in my binder I have actually some inserts that I have designed for me that I think work very well, and within these inserts I have kind of a contents so that I'll remember where I can find things, and within that, in my notes section, there's a place for free downloads. There are some very gracious companies out there that monthly release some new free downloads, and that in my section I have it filed in notes, and that is over here. And I was showing you that Illustrated Faith is one of them that has downloads monthly, and I had not added that to this list. So that's what we were doing whenever we left abruptly. I was adding Illustrated Faith to my free downloads list so that monthly I can go into each one of these companies and I can see the free downloads that they offer, and I can use those. I mean, isn't that wonderful that they give us that opportunity? Why not do that? And yeah, what I find is a lot of times I find things on their site. Now, you're going to notice here, oh no, that's Day Designer. Sorry, let's forget that, okay? Now let's flip back here, and what I am going to show you also is we were doing a lot of work from the program on my phone, which we need to mute. We were doing a lot of work from my notes section. Okay, let me confess. I did part B right after I did part A, and it just wasn't as good as I wanted. Oh, guys, in part A, I know you saw my head bobbing in and out of the shot. You saw my glasses bobbing in and out. That was, the first one's always the good, bad, and the ugly. And I will learn. If I continue to do these, I will learn more and more as we go along. So just bear with me, and thank you for doing that. So we were doing this all from an app. It was one on my mobile notes, an app I had installed. And it was on the to-do list. Now, since I have actually shot one of these and it just wasn't the way I wanted it to be, I will tell you that there's not as much information to move from here. My to-do lists were where my brain dump was for this period of time, because I had not been working in my planner at all for quite some time. So my brain dump had been sticky notes / notes laying all around the place ineffectively, or it had also been nothing, because I don't like doing sticky notes and notes because I know I won't be able to find them. I don't like working in notebooks because I'll grab whatever's handy, and then who knows where that will end up. So I worked yesterday as we traveled. I worked putting my brain dump in the section in my phone. And so that's what I was working from today as we were doing the Plan With Me for Thursday. Now, this is probably going to come up on Friday, but it's going to be part 2, so you'll see how we go ahead and do that. But you're not going to see quite as effectively because the things aren't all on my phone as they were, since this is kind of a redo of part 2. That's okay. We'll probably get more information in because we're not actually having to write it, okay? So we're going to flip around a little bit so you can see what, where, how, and all of that, okay? Now, if you've watched me for any length of time, you will know this. I am not afraid of silent space. And I know some people are. I know people don't like dead space. They think chatter has to be going on all the time. I don't think that. So you're probably going to hear, if I don't have something to say, if I need a drink, If there's a pause, that does not bother me. I hope it doesn't bother you. Know that unless I've said bye, there's still going to be something coming on. So don't worry if there's a little bit of dead spot. That's not going to be any problem at all. So what we have done is, I have showed you, I started to say utensils. I guess they kind of are, that I do. I always work with mechanical pencil in my date book. We've talked about that. I use Precision. This is a Pilot. Yeah, Pilot Precision V7. I'm using that now because you will be able to see it better. Another thing I do, and I've moved it to Friday already, if there is something that does not specifically have to be done in the immediate future, and I'm going to call that today or tomorrow or maybe the next day, I will put it on, this is a big sticky note, I will put it on a big sticky note. If it's on the big sticky note, it doesn't have to have immediate attention, and the sticky note itself can be moved from tomorrow to the next day or to next week. This means, yeah, it needs some attention. It doesn't have to have it right now. There's no huge rush. It's important, no huge rush. For instance, right here it says organize. I need to transition my closet. I need to clean up my makeup closet. I need to work in my Mary Kay room. I need to get plans and some pre-gifts done for Mary Kay holidays. And then I need to work in my house. Now, these are all going to have a time frame on them. I want to give one of these attention for a certain amount of time every day. I kind of need to work on this plan, but I do want to get it started and do something daily on those. So this even needs a little more attention before I put it into gear. So that's why that's on that list, and that's why it's on tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be able to think about how I want this to work out. Then I'll probably move it on a more planned out sheet, but that's still probably going to go on this. It'll just have a little more thought given to it, and I'll know how I want to do it. Okay? Now, let me show you how that plan works. I do that plan a lot. This was the day we met with our financial advisor. Took my date book, wrote information down here. Then we come home with this. We do research we need to. We work out figures we need to. We move this to a different section or file. And that's how that works. Okay, so I do that a lot with pages. I use these a lot in my pages, and it frees up work. Now, I had moved this to tomorrow because I'd already filmed part B, which that was part B1. This is part B2, the part you're going to see, okay? So the other things that are on here are, now if you'll notice, I have this amount of time scheduled out for appointments. So I'm actually filming this after the appointment. I didn't have anything timed up here because this was the day I get back into getting my planner set up, getting my act back together, if you will, okay? The other thing that's on here is video, film, edit, upload, post, and then post. So I know what my plan is all around there. These are kind of things that I will move forward. If it has an arrow forward like that, that means that I'm not going to get it done today. It will move forward. This one also most definitely needs to move forward. This was kind of a reminder for Jim. I don't know if he's gotten that done or not. Okay, so that's how that works. These are two things that I need to look into. And a lot of times those are going to go over here on this side of the page rather than over here, because this is where you would prioritize. If I was going to prioritize this, which I didn't because I knew I wasn't going to get around to really getting those kind of things done, but I mean, if I'd worked this properly, this would have had an A, So see what I'll do is move them tomorrow with this prioritizing. This would have had an A. This would have had an A. This would have had an A. This would have had a 1. This would have had an A2. This would have had an A3. This is a B1 because it really needs to be done. And B's get done also. These would have been B's and probably 2. And then those would have all been, I probably would have just gone in and done 1, 2, 3 under the B's because those are kind of subcategories. If y'all are watching this, you probably know how to do your prioritized list. So, and then I want to mention also that normally on any given day, this is what gets filled up first. My to-do list, my prioritized daily tasks get filled up first, and then from those, I go over here to this area. And this is what gets filled up with information, with phone numbers. You know, as I talk to PTCI over here, I will go over here and write the detailed information. As I talk to Dish TV over here, I will go over here and write the information. As I call and get information about something else, I will go down here and write detailed information. As I want to make personal phone calls during the day, I will make all my phone calls during there. So that's kind of how I work that, okay? Okay, so I also wanted to show you, now I do have on my phone, let's go over to today. Okay, today important. I have several to-do, I have several to-do lists. I have a to-do important, a to-do personal, a to-do now, and then a to-do sticky list. Okay, let's look at this. Okay, this is a to-do sticky because this is where I want it to go. I told you in the first video that I had notes on the other side of the Franklin page divider, and the notes on the other side of here are kind of personal, and those are ones that I really, if somebody walks in my office to pick up product, I don't necessarily want them to see that. So it's kind of on the other side of here. So in my to-do sticky note, sticky list, these are things that I first need to do some research on, and then I want to list them online. Now, I'm going to leave them on my phone, but they also have to be in front of my face. Things have to be in front of my face for me to get them done. So I have to figure out a plan to get them in front of my face. So I need to research and list some china that I have. It needs to be researched before I list it. Was a very big collector of Steiff bears. Made in Germany, all handmade. I don't need to go into that. And then Madame Alexander dolls. So I need to do some really good research on all of those. It doesn't have to be done tomorrow. It doesn't have to be done next week, but I have put it off a long time, guys. So it's on my phone. It needs to be in front of my face. Now, I wrote it on this, and even as I was doing this particular video the first time, I wrote it on this. I don't want it written on this. I want it written on a sticky note that will stay in front of me every day until I get that puppy done. Now, this is not necessarily documented. I mean, this is not like critical information that I would care if anybody saw, because it's just telling me I need to get that done, right? So, let's pop that off. I'm going to turn it this way, and I'm going to do research and list. We're going to do Stives. We're going to do China. Whoops, that's spelled with a C, isn't it? And we're going to do Madame Alexander. Okay. So we're going to have that right there. So that does not have to be on the back of something like this does, because it's no personal information that I necessarily care if somebody got. So, as a matter of fact, in front of my face all day is a good thing. Okay? So, that's how I would do that. Now, that's something that I like to put on a sticky note because I want it right there. And it'll stay right there very, very well. So, that's how I do that. I also need to get the entertainment center online. So, actually, what let's do is, we're not going to take time to do that right now because I just looked at our time and I do want to get this wound up. So, you have seen how I document and use these for several different things. For some personal information, for some in-your-face information, for some things I want to kind of keep in front of me, but they'll probably have to be moved and I don't want to keep writing it on the next page, the next page, the next page. You have seen how I use some inserts so that I have some pretty important information to me that I love having almost as much as I love my planner. I mean, this is my planner also. So you've seen how all of that works. You've seen straight edges, which are important in my planner. You've seen the tools I use. And you've seen us get the Thursday pretty much planned out. So I have shared with you how I put together a day in a Franklin planner. And I am back at it and I am so excited. And yes, I do totally plan to get on point again in my Franklin Compact. I can't wait to do that. I know I've told you I will do that a couple of times. What is really holding me back, and I have discovered, is knowing that I'm not going to have availability to this. And I just haven't taken the time to get something together like this because I really use this so much right now, and I think I need something like that in my compact. So if you have comments, leave them below. If you have questions, leave them below. Please feel free to leave us a thumbs up. Always appreciate that. Totally appreciate you watching. If you haven't subscribed, I would love for you to. And I think that's all that I need to say. You guys know that I appreciate you tons, and I will look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.